Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer from English with Jennifer. When we study a new language, one challenge is acquiring vocabulary. We want to learn new words, but we struggle to remember old ones. English can seem crazy at times because a single word can have different meanings. Take sweet, for example. Sweet can refer to a sugary taste, like milk chocolate candy. Sweet can also describe someone who is kind. They have a sweet, gentle nature. And in American English, sweet can also mean nice, that's good, or wow, that's impressive. This is an informal meaning. It's something we'd use in casual conversation. For example, if a friend got a new job and it pays well, she has lots of vacation time, and the company gives employees free tickets to professional sports events. My response? Sweet. Now think of the word mood. We often use this word to refer to how someone feels. We can be in a good mood or a bad mood. If someone's mood constantly changes, we can call them moody, or say they have mood swings. Well, in grammar, mood refers to the speaker's attitude toward what is being said. Not all sources agree on what the moods are, but generally speaking, we can ask, what kinds of sentences do we use? What's the purpose of our communication? We speak to state facts or truths. When we use the indicative mood, we're certain about what we're saying. I make videos. We also ask questions. Both our sentence structure and our intonation can change when we use the interrogative mood. What kind of videos do you make? Are they educational? We use questions to seek answers and confirmation, but we can also use questions to make requests, as in, can you turn the volume down? An alternative is to issue a command. We do that with the imperative mood. Turn the volume down. Sometimes we express that one event is dependent on another. That's when we use the conditional mood. If you join me on Patreon, you'll get more interaction and support. And then there's the subjunctive mood. Subjunctive verb forms let us express wishes and possibilities. I wish you were all YouTube members.
The conditional mood can help us express hypothetical outcomes, and we often use the modal verbs could and would. I could play the piano better if I practiced more. I would play better with more practice. So the second example doesn't use if, but it's an implied conditional. In my understanding, two moods can be present together in the same sentence. For example, a complex sentence. If I were less busy, I would play the piano for 1 or 2 hours a day. So we see the subjunctive in the first clause, the if clause. I'm expressing a wish. And the main clause has the conditional mood. The outcome is dependent on some condition.
We may not use the subjunctive in every conversation, but it's important that everyone gains some familiarity with subjunctive verb forms, because you will encounter them. So let's start our lesson on the subjunctive. You've likely used the subjunctive in unreal conditionals about the present or future. We use the subjunctive form were for all subjects. If I were you, I'd stop worrying. If she were here, she'd be laughing. If he weren't so cautious, he'd take more risks. You can use my playlist on conditionals to study these kinds of sentences with if. The subjunctive were is also used in wishes. I wish you were here. If only it weren't raining. When used this way, the past form of were is sometimes called the past subjunctive. But the subjunctive isn't used consistently in American English. It tends to be used more in formal English. So you'll hear people use was, even in hypothetical situations. She talked to us as if she was the only one who knew the truth, but we all knew.
Here, as if calls for the subjunctive because this is counterfactual, but not all speakers will follow the pattern. They'll say as if she was rather than as if she were.
I have an exclusive video on Patreon, by the way, that goes over the uses of as if and as though. It's one of the many perks you get when you join my membership program. Let me ask you something about the kind of person you are. Do you try to influence others? Do you feel that you have some control over what others do? Do you want to have that kind of influence? Well, the subjunctive allows us to talk about our wishes as they relate to other people's actions. First, we can use verbs that express some kind of necessity. Maybe my desire is weak, so I'm only making a suggestion. Or maybe my desire for a certain outcome is strong, so I'm making a demand. Compare these statements. I suggest that you review real and unreal conditional sentences. I insist that you watch my playlist on conditionals if you have any lingering doubts. Suggest and insist are the kinds of verbs that express a desire to push others towards action. The subjunctive follows in a noun clause, a that clause. Look at the verb form in the noun clause. The so-called present subjunctive is the base form of the verb.
In these structures, we use the base verb for all subjects. I suggest that you review, that he review, that we review. I insist that you watch, that she watch, that they watch.
The verbs in the main clause can change forms to reflect a past, present, or future time period, but the subjunctive remains in the that clause. I suggested that she review. I'm suggesting that everyone review. I insisted that he continue. I'll insist that he continue. Can you correct the mistakes in these sentences?
They recommended that we take a break. He's demanding that everyone call him sir. I'd like to propose that we hire outside help.
Note with some verbs we have a choice how to structure our sentence. Suggest and recommend can use the subjunctive in a that clause, or a gerund as the direct object. I suggest that you visit my website. I suggest visiting my website. I recommend that you try my member-only tasks on YouTube. I recommend trying my member-only tasks on YouTube. A few verbs like ask, require, and order can use the subjunctive or an infinitive after an object. I ask that you be patient. I'm asking you to be patient. The company requires that proof of vaccination be shown. The company requires proof of vaccination to be shown. That last sentence pair uses the passive voice. The subjunctive has a passive form, be plus the past participle. How would you make this sentence passive? We insist that respect be shown to coworkers. The subjunctive can also have a negative form, not plus the base verb. It's essential that you not lose faith in yourself. What did I use? The subjunctive is still in a that clause, but this noun clause follows an adjective. It's essential that. The pattern holds for similar adjectives that express a wish for someone to behave a certain way, to do a certain action. It's essential that. It's important that. It's crucial that. It's desirable that. These kinds of sentences sound formal. It's important that we remain strong. In more relaxed conversation, we'll find alternatives with infinitives. It's important to remain strong. It's important for everyone to remain strong. Can you make these sentences less formal?
One, it's necessary to find a balance between serving others and taking care of ourselves. 2, it's desirable to have enough material possessions without accumulating more than we need. 3, it's crucial to gain enough sleep and consume enough calories, otherwise your body won't function as it should.
Here's a final challenge. Can you give at least one piece of advice that leads to happiness or success? Use the subjunctive 2 different ways. Here are my examples. It is essential that you pursue something with passion. I strongly recommend that you pursue something with passion. It's important that your life be filled with meaning. I suggest that you fill your life with meaning. All right, we'll end here. Please like and share the video if you found the lesson useful. As always, thanks for watching and happy studies.
Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Why not join me on Patreon? And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.